Every day of the year is a feast day of some saint, some special friend from whom you can ask favors. Today's saint is Saint Catherine of Sweden, and I know that because I have this book. Okay, so see, it's called Heavenly Friends by Rosalie Marie Levy. I think the copyright is 1956. There is I think a 1983 version. I recommend this one. This one has some crazy old time saints, like when the time was still in double digits, like 62 AD or whatever. Every day we read the saint of the day. And so we know who to ask for favors, because when it's your feast day in heaven, you are given an abundance of graces to just sort of shower on the people that ask for them. And if there's a saint from like 216 that no one's even thinking about today, he's got a ton of graces just to throw down on whoever wants them. So it's a really good reason to know who the saint is of the day. We also learn geography, history, church matters. We learn about heresies and popes and you name it. All the big ones are in here. Francis, St. Benedict, St. Joseph, of course, Our Lady. There's also the major feasts: Christ the King, Sacred Heart of Jesus, Immaculate Conception, big and small. They're very short. Well, some of them are really short. Like I think St. Fausta is 2 sentences. And I think it just says, she was the mother of St. Anastasia or something like that. Some saint is like that. But look at like St. Swithbert. Like when was the last time anybody said, St. Swithbert, pray for us? And there's some crazy, okay, still on the same page, look at that. Cunegundis. I guess if that's a boy or a girl, the daughter of King Bela IV. You learn all kinds of cool stuff. Countries that don't exist anymore, factions, nationalities, ethnicities that don't even exist anymore. And you find out about these heroes who gave their lives for their faith, oftentimes, not always. Some of them died of old age, like St. John, even though he tried very hard to become a martyr, but that wasn't God's will for him. There are fascinating stories. St. Bartholomew was flayed alive. St. Lawrence roasted on a spit. Some have been shot with arrows, stoned to death, torn apart by wild beasts, ripped open with iron hooks. My favorite saint story in this book is the 40 Holy Martyrs of Sebaste. It just passed. It was just a little while ago. Their story is they were all soldiers from all different areas of the Roman Empire, but they were in the army and they were being forced to offer sacrifice to the gods. I don't know, incense or something. They had to burn incense to the gods. And the whole troop was like, no, we're Christian and we aren't going to do that. And so they were ordered to strip naked and go out onto this frozen lake until they died. And the soldiers prepared this warm bath on the shore for anybody who wanted to give up. Forget it. I don't want to be a Christian anymore. I want a hot bath. Unfortunately, one of them did. He got out. He said, okay, I give up. I'm freezing. And he went into the warm water and he died instantly. And one of the soldiers saw that happen and he took off all his clothes and climbed out onto the ice, so that there were 40 martyrs that day. They were on the ice overnight, and in the morning the youngest one of them was still alive. And so the soldiers brought his mother over, thinking that she could convince him to just come on, that's enough now, you can see where this is going. And instead, she was a really good mom. She encouraged him to persevere, because she knew that he was getting this beautiful crown in heaven. As a Catholic, I know that this is not the end of it. This world is the waiting room for heaven. And sometimes you're in a waiting room and there's a stain on the chair, or there's a Golf Digest from 1992, or there's a really loud, sticky kid running around. But it's the waiting room, so who cares? Yeah, you might be like, gross, uncomfortable, boring, but you're not there for that. You're there to, whatever's beyond the waiting room. That's heaven. No one sets up camp in the waiting room. Oh, I better pack a suitcase and go into the waiting room. That's not what we're meant for. We're meant to tolerate the waiting room, behave ourselves in the waiting room, maybe help others who might need something. Oh, here comes, someone who needs to sit down. I'll give them my seat in the waiting room. But this isn't where we're meant to land. This isn't where we stay for eternity. And our souls are eternal, so we know that they're going to be someplace forever. I, for one, don't want it to be here, this valley of tears. I want to go where my Father has many mansions. And if I go there before my loved ones, well, then I'll be up there praying for them And if they go before me, they will pray for me, and we will see each other in eternity. No matter how long I live, if I'm here for 5,000 years, it's still a drop in the bucket, a blink of an eye in eternity. As always, I recommend that we keep our eyes on the prize. And the prize is more easily envisioned when we read things like this. If I want to run a marathon, I might look into what is involved in running a marathon and being successful. I'm going to look at the winners. These guys are the winners. So I highly recommend that you get a Lives of the Saints book. There's tons of them out there. This one's my favorite, Heavenly Friends by Rosalie Marie Levy.